Yes. We are in Killarney, Ireland.
Yay.
Christmas in Killarney with all the folks at home. Okay, so that song has been going through my head the entire time we've been here, driving me crazy.
Even though it's not Christmas.
Well, it's Christmas in July.
Yes.
When you say.
Yeah.
So, we have been...
Sorry, Mike's trying to get the camera in line. There we go.
Oops, it says I'm offline. Let's see. Can
No,
I
it's
get
not
online?
shaky.
Trying to find us here so I can see your comments. There's one. Okay, so...
Here, let's see if I can.
Ireland is very pretty.
Yep.
Probably the last time I'll ever visit, though.
What?
The
She won't come with
driving
me.
is scary. Okay, now, hello, Kelly. To Mike's defense, actually, you're a very good driver here. I have to admit. I think we should go live driving around. And you guys can see what I'm talking about.
But she would hold the phone, not me.
It's like crazy because...
Actually, because it's flipped, it looks like I'm driving on the American side of the car. I'm actually on the other side of the car than from what it looks like.
Oh,
So.
yeah. Okay, well, that's all right. Oh, I sounded like my dad does, and that's weird. But we are loving Ireland. It is super pretty. I'm trying to find YouTube here, and I can't find... Can't find it here. Can you get YouTube on here?
Yeah, hold that. And the camera's right there, so don't.
So the food is super delicious. I've been asked several times, so what do I think about the gluten-free thing here? So
YouTube or Facebook?
I can't find us on YouTube. I went ahead and ate regular baked goods the first 3 weeks we were here. And even though I didn't have the horrible gut-wrenching side effects that I have at home, it still is not good for me. So I have gone back gluten-free, dairy-free after being horribly sick for about 3 weeks. Isn't that weird?
It says we're live.
I know. But the good news is they have really good, cheap gluten-free products here. It's kind of disgusting. Their gluten-free bread is about $2.50 compared to the exact same, and I mean it is the exact same brand, is $6 or $7 at home, so that's ridiculous. So the gluten-free bread is really cheap, and their gluten-free products are really cheap. The only problem is they have really good baked goods here. Would you not agree with that? I
do agree.
So we have a really hard time resisting. I have a really hard time resisting because it's just like, if this is the only time I'm going to be here, then I really want to try it all.
So, man, we need to ask people when they find us live on here, how do they actually find us?
Well, that's what I want. Look at the subscriptions. Maybe click on the subscriptions here. There.
Ta-da!
Okay, see, we don't know how to use our phones because we never use our phones.
Okay, there we go. Mike has to take off his glasses because he's old eyes, can't see close. Janet, hi. Darren, hi. Darren,
hello. So the driving is pretty hair-raising, I will tell you. They have roads where only one car can go, but it's a two-way road.
So the white picket fence says top of the day to you. So I gotta tell you, it's kind of hilarious because I've been told all the times that I've been told that
everybody says they don't say top of the morning here.
Nobody says top of the morning here. So, and I knew that was the case the last time we came. I knew that was the case now. We went into a store yesterday in town, like a place where you just go buy touristy things. And there was a lady standing at the counter, and then she said, top of the morning. And I was like, what? I kind of said, what? I said, I thought nobody said that. She said, oh, I was just reading off of, she was looking through some kind of souvenir thing, and one of them said top of the morning, and I guess they were out of it.
Reading what it said
to herself. So then she kind of laughed, and we talked about it for a minute or so. Then we walked through the store and did some stuff, and then on the way out, she just happened to see us go by, and so she said, top of the morning. I thought that was pretty hilarious. Because,
pretty funny.
Yeah, because I think they only do that for Americans occasionally.
So if you guys see me with my hair up in all the videos, it's because I don't have a blow dryer or curling iron. I couldn't fit it in my carry-on, and the first 3 weeks we weren't by anywhere where I could buy one. And so it's just ponytails for this trip, I think.
So, hi, are you on a vacation? Yes, we are. We're in Killarney, Ireland right now.
So right now, for all of you who are wondering, we are sitting in front of Little, just so we can prove it. Let's see, can they see it up there? Can they see it?
I see a car. No, you're holding it too high.
Oops, now it's too high.
There you go.
We're sitting in front of Little.
In Killarney.
In Killarney. Oops, sorry guys. So we actually have been into Little and Tesco and Aldi.
Oh, Elizabeth says, hi guys. She's come and sits with Elizabeth now.
Oh, there you go.
Yay.
We have been into all three, finally. And it's very interesting, the grocery prices here. So, I haven't done a video on it. I don't know if I'm going to do a video on it. I did videos of England, but once we got to Scotland, I was just like, I am so done with this. I don't feel like doing it. So,
well, and
I don't know if we're going to have any videos for the rest of the trip. We'll see.
It ended up, we had a couple of great days in. How's the crack? The crack is mighty. I clean up fires. Yeah, Scotland was really good the first few days, and then we had a lot of really heavy rain days and stayed inside mostly, and so that was, but I think we kind of got a little bit burned out then, right? From that. Oh, and for those of you who saw when we tried to go live out there and we were being eaten alive by midges, now we know what they're all about.
Okay, so let's go back to what I was talking about, grocery prices.
Oh, sorry. Did I take away from
Yes, you did.
Well, I guess Mike needs to do the Mike show.
So grocery prices. So everybody was asking me about videos on grocery prices. So I don't know if I'm going to do a video or not. I took a bunch of footage in England, but I haven't done it in Scotland or Ireland. But the grocery prices are actually, a lot of them are cheaper here than they are in the US. Now, meat is a very interesting thing. The meat that isn't on sale is really super expensive. But at Aldi, Tesco, and Lidl, all three, just like at home, if you watch the ads, it's about the same as it is in the US. It's maybe 50 cents a pound more for some of the chicken and beef. But they had an, oh, did we take the ads in? Hold on.
So,
wait, here's
so Gypsy Girl,
hold on.
The reason we're in the car is because the internet is just horrible just over the hill.
At our Airbnb.
And where we are at the moment is an industrial area. So the car is prettier than anything you'll see out the window in this moment.
So here, guys, look right here. So Irish spare ribs right there. Can you see that? €3 for 500 grams, which I think is about a pound. So that's about what we pay at home. And then here is burgers for just shy of a pound. Well, no, it's about a pound. €3. That's about the same price that we pay at home. $3, even translating it. So, so anyway, so I got an Aldi ad right here. Pretty cool. But look what I found. Okay, hold on. Is it wrong to bring a toaster and a tea kettle home? Look at these guys. They're retro. Are those not the cutest things ever?
See, then you would need one of those
power, look at that.
You need one of those power adapters to change it.
Oh, that's right. So they got some really cool stuff in the Aldi ad here. Okay, I'll do comments real quick.
Kathy's asking, how's the heat here? It's been like 60 degrees. Somebody else is asking,
beautiful.
What day and time is it? It's Tuesday, right? It's 7:37 p.m.
Okay, favorite foods from Ireland. So our favorite food the whole trip, for me, has been the scones and clotted cream. In England, in Ireland,
I can't see if you do that.
In Ireland, Mike found at Lidl these little donuts that are like Boston cream donuts.
Oh,
they're covered in the hard chocolate, you know, the hard donut chocolate, and they're really soft, and they have Boston cream on the inside. Okay, those are really good. David's favorite is the Baps, which is cheese broochen or cheese rolls where they have the cheese baked into it. Those are David's. Ellie is a foodie. She loves it all like me.
Did we post any pictures on the Facebook?
I have been posting pictures,
Okay.
yeah.
For the people who are asking for pictures. Unfortunately, we're not in a very good spot, but we tried in other places and we just couldn't get enough internet to be able to stream.
Yeah. So we are loving all the food here. I mean, it's great. There's been a few things. The sauces. Okay, we've had an issue with the sauces.
Well,
not quite as tasty as we were hoping they would be, but we went and got barbecue sauce and it was kind of missing something, and we went and got sweet and sour sauce, and it's like chunky sweet and sour sauce, so there's chunks of carrots and peppers, and
it was like paste pecani sauce.
Well, you say
with
that,
pineapples.
but it didn't taste like paste.
It tasted like paste with pineapples to me. Because you're always right.
Are you ready to come home yet? Actually, Tammy, I am. I am ready to come home. I don't know. Are you ready to come home?
Kind of.
I think we all are.
Actually, I think it would have been...
Yeah.
Honestly,
3 or 4 weeks would have been plenty.
Well, I think the main issue is it's difficult with all the family.
Yeah.
Well, with almost all the family, because the kids have been bored.
Ooh. Never mind. Kelly says it's going to be 103 tomorrow there in Colorado.
Actually, it's been really nice here. It's been
60. It's great.
It's been 60 and partly cloudy for just the 4th day in Killarney.
Yeah.
And then, but tomorrow is 90% chance of rain, so that's kind of what we're expecting anyway.
Christine, we are not planning to immigrate. This is good enough for me for the rest of my life.
Well, Tara was
beautiful, but I never want to drive again. Mike's done great. It's not Mike. Mike's a good driver. You're a very good driver for being American. You only got on the right side once.
I never got on the right side.
Yes, you did. One time.
That's because everybody was parked on the left side, and that was the only way around. Well, actually, it's funny because they have these little phone booth things that say defibrillator on them all along the road, and I'm thinking, now I know why they have them, because when you're riding in the car, you need to stop and have somebody restart your heart. Actually, Tara was really having a hard time because, well, we were both having a hard time, but we were driving on what they call a single track road, which is one lane, but the lane's only probably 75% as wide as an American road lane. But it was one lane for traffic going both directions, and have a huge truck would come along, and we'd kind of try to pull off, and it would just blow past, like it didn't even see us there.
No, we're not looking for a house. I have decided Ireland is not for me. We thought we could immigrate as missionaries. We found out they allow missionaries, and we found out why they allow missionaries. Oh my goodness gracious, we were learning some of the Puritan history, and we were like, wow, here I had all this time I thought Puritans were like these, how do you say, oppressed people that were horrible, and come to find out they were pretty nasty.
At least here.
Wow. You just want to go and apologize to everyone and say, I am so sorry. So
well, we're not Puritans, so
I know, but I feel bad because my ancestors.
But
we have not gone to Norway yet. That's in 2.5 weeks. We're going to Norway. Yes, Lottie added, the baked goods are bothering my fibromyalgia. I have been extremely sore, extremely sick. I put on 10 pounds in 10 days. So,
actually, today's the first day in a while you haven't been all puffy.
Well, that's because I haven't had any gluten today.
Yeah.
So, I went off yesterday. I'm back on my gluten-free diet because I've actually been pretty miserable. No, we have not had traditional Sunday roast. Or Yorkshire pudding. Probably won't have that now because I'm going to really try to stay.
That sounds good.
And I don't know what a full English breakfast is and a full Irish breakfast. Everybody keeps advertising that. We need to figure out what that is because it must be something good.
What's like 8 different kinds of meat?
Yeah.
Some other stuff.
We leave 4 weeks from today to go home. So, worse than the drivers in Colorado. So here's the thing. Okay, here's what's interesting though. The driving... I'm serious. You need a Xanax with some gin, with a blindfold, and Depends to be driving in Ireland. But here's the thing. We have been here 3 weeks in all 3, and we have not seen an accident yet. Which in Colorado, we would have seen 50. We see an accident every single time. I see an accident every single time I go out on the road. It's ridiculous.
Well,
I don't go out as much as Mike does, but still.
The funny thing is, everybody drives what seems crazy fast for the conditions, and the road lanes are narrower, and a lot of times both directions share the same lane, and you're driving up on a blind hill, and it says the speed limit is 80. I'm like, what? But for some reason, I think everybody's just paying a lot of attention, and
I know why.
And it's like, even though it's fast and crazy and feels like you're going to die a lot of times, it's just we haven't seen nearly as much chaos
but I know why.
In Colorado, where the roads are bigger.
It's illegal to have your phone in your hand here. You get, I think somebody said it was like €1,000 fine, which is about $1,000 for the first offense. So you're not allowed to even have the phone in your hand. So I bet you anything that's what it is. Even though it's crazy driving, they seem to be good drivers here.
Yeah,
what do you say? I mean,
you feel like it's a close call at every moment, but we haven't actually seen any accidents.
No.
In Scotland, we heard of a couple of accidents in Glasgow, but Google routed us around them, so we didn't actually see.
Well, and that was Glasgow. I mean,
but that's in Scotland. In Ireland, we haven't seen anything like that. So
yeah, and too many weed smokers in Colorado. Probably.
The driving on the left really isn't a big deal. It's mostly the roads being narrow and unexpected, because Google will say, hey, we found a way that's 8 minutes faster, and then they take you on this, they'll take you across like a farm field on a little dirt path.
Do the toilets flush the other way? Ha! No, but oh my goodness, trying to figure out the toilets here for some of them. It can get kind of scary. Jamie, actually, I found some Duffy stuff for you.
Actually, something if you're not from Ireland, you might find interesting is they have what we found here, and also I think at the next place and at the last place, there's you have to turn on the hot water heater thing, and then set a timer on it and wait half an hour for you to have hot water to take a bath. And they also have electric showers. It's a little box on the wall. Well, the one where we are now doesn't have one, but it's a box on the wall. You push the button and it heats the water right in the box. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, and what's funny is Jack, somebody was saying about navigating, Jack and David actually are the best. Don't ask me to navigate. Jack and David are the best navigators. So, yeah.
Well, it's funny because you talk about exits on a roundabout and stuff like that. And if you're not, again, if you're from the States, you probably have never heard of that. But there'll be a roundabout and there'll be 5 roads that go off the roundabout, and they'll say, take the 3rd exit on the roundabout and then there's and it's funny because here in Killarney, there's a road that Google keeps translating it as the haha. And I'm not really sure if that's what it's actually supposed to be, or if Google just is misreading it, but it's kind of funny when it says, take the third exit on the roundabout to the haha.
Yeah, that's been pretty funny. Let's see, what's something else that washing has been issues here. So 9 times out of 10 they don't have a dryer. The last house we stayed at was a super expensive. It was like a $500,000 house.
That's not how much we pay to stay in it,
the people are living in the Netherlands, and they're new on Airbnb, so we got a super good deal.
It was a fantastic
We wanted
house.
to just stay there for the rest of our trip. Oh my goodness.
Wow, it was really nice.
It was super nice. They had a dryer for the 2 nights, of course, but the first washer, oh my word, the first washer completely shredded several of our clothes.
Is that the one in Scotland?
No, the one in England, that first horrible Airbnb. So then...
Oh, the Airbnb we no longer speak of?
Yeah, the Airbnb we no longer speak. We got a horrible Airbnb in London. Oh, man, it was bad. But then when we went to Crystal's house, her washer was great, but there's no dryer. But the thing is, here it rains, so you can hang it outside, but it may or may not get dried. Now, thankfully, we, with the exception of the 2 or 3 days in Scotland, we haven't had any rain for 3 weeks. It's actually been great. So we've been able to get our stuff dried, but you kind of have to really plan ahead. Well, not really. Is that the word I'm trying to... You have to be ready to do laundry when you need to do laundry right away, because...
you wait till the last minute, you'll run out of time.
Yeah. You can't just wait. So, like, we're leaving this Airbnb on what day? Friday?
Yes.
Friday. So I can't be Thursday night be doing laundry because it won't be dry.
And I think there's laundry at the next place, but it's a lot more remote than here. Killarney's not really remote per se. I mean, it is kind of far out.
Yeah.
But it's a pretty decent sized tourist town.
Okay, back to grocery prices. Somebody was asking about...
The first day we got here, or not the first day, the first full day we were here, there was a quarterfinal championship football game, soccer. So the entire town was completely jam-packed the whole time, and everywhere we tried to go, we were overwhelmed. We thought, wow, this wasn't the best day to choose coming to town.
So we didn't know they were having... So check big games, and then this week they're having a bunch of horse races, which isn't as bad as the football game. Oh my word, they were parking on the sidewalk. They just park on grass wherever they wanted.
I drove past this church, and there was like a grassy field by the church, and the entire thing was completely full, and it was Sunday, and I was like, wow, I'm pretty impressed. Everybody's going to church here on Sunday in the afternoon. And later on we realized, oh, those are people parking there for the football game.
For the soccer game, I know. So, it's crazy. But, oh yeah, the roundabouts, everybody... So I did film some grocery shopping in England. I haven't filmed any here. I haven't been really feeling up to it, but
she's been pretty sick.
I've been actually really sick. I should not have eaten the gluten. Wanted to give it a try. Once again, it didn't give me the gut-wrenching, horrible side effects I have at home, but it's still not making me, I don't know, it's just making me really depressed and don't feel like doing anything. And
she had heard that people say that the bread is different here, and so the gluten might not be a problem.
But
the bread is different, but the gluten was still a problem anyway. So
anyway, back to grocery prices and what we've been eating. So we have been spending about $20, no, not even that much, about $15 a day on food for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So what have we been eating? The boys love the bread here. So they have been going through a loaf of bread every day and a half or 2 days. They've been eating a whole loaf of bread with toast and stuff. I know, not the healthiest thing.
The other boys.
We had Irish meatballs. We've had pizza. We've had hamburgers. Our go-to restaurant is McDonald's.
But we've mostly not been eating at restaurants. We've mostly been going to the store and getting things. And there are some unusual things we've seen, but it's mostly Dave really has been liking the pastries more than anything.
Yeah.
But we haven't actually we've probably been eating less.
Yeah.
Mostly.
We've been eating less in general. The cheese and dairy, oh my word, it is so good here. It's super good. And let's see, what else? Here's the things that are interesting. Pharmacy, one of the kids just texted me, but the pharmacy stuff here is actually really expensive. So, and over the counter here does not mean the same as over the counter there. So over the counter at home means you can buy it without going to the pharmacy. Here it means you have to ask the pharmacist for it. You can buy it, but you have to ask the pharmacist for it. So like some of our allergy medicine, we had to ask the pharmacist for it. But like shaving cream, $9 for shaving cream. Even I just went to go find witch hazel, or I mean, not shaving cream, aftershave. Witch hazel, so I went to go find Mike some witch hazel for aftershave. They wanted $9 for a bottle at home that's $1. So their pharmaceuticals stuff seems really expensive here.
Well, it's funny. It's funny. I think that we see sometimes in stores American products, and I guess some people must like the American products. But we were at a store yesterday in the tourist part of Killarney, and they had cans of Pringles for €2 for €9.
Yeah.
Like,
so
whoa.
Cora says go to Super Value on the Park Road in Killarney, or Little. That's where we're sitting in front of right now, is the Little and Cleany roundabout. That's where we are right now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we are. We are sitting in the parking lot right now. It's so cool. It's only about a half a mile from our Airbnb. We couldn't stream from our Airbnb, so we decided to come here. So yeah, we're spending about $15 a day on groceries, give or take a little bit. And like I said, the meat is about $2 to $3 a pound American here. So really, it's not, the groceries are actually a lot cheaper. Like the bread is cheaper. Bread is 69 euros here. At home, what?
69 pence.
Or 69 pence, I meant. What did I say? Euro?
Cents. Yeah, you said euros. I guess
Okay,
it's cents in euros.
69 of your coins, whatever your coins are here. And let's see.
The meat,
what else?
the meat, it does depend on how you shop, because there's some meat items that I've seen that are like 20 euro a pound or something, which is ridiculously expensive. But mostly Tara's been choosing well on the meat. Like there was that steak thing that I forget that I saw in there that was, I don't know, a small number of ounces, but the cost per ounce was pretty high.
I mean, you can get really expensive stuff here, but if you just watch the sales, it's just like at home. Although the bacon, oh, it's like Canadian bacon. It's really good. And we only paid $2 a pound for the bacon, which is super cheap. The Irish bacon, they call them rashers or something. Rashers?
Yeah.
They call them rashers here. Let's see.
It's funny how many products, though, that say just like Americans like, or America's favorite or something. And I'm thinking,
yeah, it's
never
hilarious.
had anything like this in America.
Yeah, it's hilarious. So their hot dogs come in a jar. American hot dogs come in a jar with some liquid preserving them. And that's their American hot dogs. What else? They have American peanut butter and jelly in a jar.
Well, a lot of kind of Tex-Mex food, and although it's not, yeah, there was one thing that there was a Texas pizza, and we didn't buy it, but it had barbecue sauce mostly on it. And I was thinking,
yeah,
never seen anything like it.
And if you go in the evening to get your groceries, they have a lot of their stuff marked down in the evening. So I got a lot of stuff marked down, like meats and stuff. I got drumsticks for like $1.50 a pound, but they were already seasoned and everything, so I didn't even have to buy seasoning or anything. That's been the hardest thing with cooking, is I don't want to buy a bunch of seasonings and stuff, but it's kind of hard to cook when you don't have any seasonings. So we did get some garlic powder. We got salt and pepper. Oh, that's another thing.
Oh, there's like 18 kinds of curry powder here.
Yeah. And here's the other thing. They put salt on nothing. Like, nothing. So we are really having to be making sure we have salt when we go anywhere, because they have no salt on anything. That's the only thing I would say bad about the food, is they just don't salt it enough. So.
Well, and we're really still eating it with a lot less salt anyway, right? You're putting some salt on, but we haven't really salted that much, have we?
Well, we salt it so it tastes good.
Okay.
I think. I don't know. Have I tried black pudding? No, probably won't try that one. That one I probably won't. Stephanie says barbecue pizza is one of her favorites. Maybe we should try that and see. You think the boys would eat that?
They might.
Black pudding, Kelly, is like blood, and they cook it with sausage or something. I don't know, but it's
a
blood
meat of some sort.
Yeah, I just don't think.
There are a couple of different kinds of meats that are served with, that are basically made with blood in it.
Mr. Price and deals are cheap for toiletries. Yes, we did find a deals yesterday in downtown Killarney, and it is fairly cheap. I will say about Killarney, so here's the thing. Killarney is not what I expected. I thought Killarney was just like some kind of cute little Irish town, just a normal little anything. It's not. It's like a huge tourist town. I mean, huge tourist town. It's like, if you guys have ever been to Estes Park in Colorado, it's like Estes Park on steroids 10 times. There were so many shops, we only hit like 3 blocks before we had to quit, because
there were a lot of shops.
There has to be, what, with all the side streets and everything, probably 10 blocks, if not more, of tourist shops. It's crazy busy. We had no idea.
Next week we'll be in Dingle area, and I think that Dingle is the kind of town Tara was thinking Killarney would be. It's a smaller, still tourism, but it's a lot smaller.
Yeah.
And I think she was surprised, and actually I was surprised, because when Ellie and I were here before, we didn't spend that much time in the tourist shop area. We didn't realize how many shops there were. There were a massive number of them.
There's just tons and tons and tons. And so, Everybody says black pudding is delicious. It's pig blood and guts and barley in a horseshoe-looking sausage that you can slice and fry in a pan. I'll take your word on it for that one. I don't know if I just don't know if I could do that one. So I did not know that Killarney was such a huge tourist town. I thought that it was just like a little town. So, you know, because Bing's always singing about it, I thought it was just a quaint little town. But they have like...
Maybe it was in 1940.
But they have like major hotels here. Major tourist stuff. I mean, it's just a crazy tourism. I've never seen a tourist town so busy, ever.
But it's still really pretty, in the particularly in the national park. The boys and I have been getting up in the morning early and going before anyone gets there, and it's really, really nice.
Yeah.
Because usually when we've been there, there's been nobody, and then some of the locals will come jogging and stuff, and it's much more relaxing then than when all the tourists are out.
Kelly, where are you at? But you live 40 minutes from it. Oh no. Are they wanting them to leave? Can they get out? I think they can get out. So anyway, we've been having fun. We've been enjoying it. We are ready to go home. Ellie was right. 4 weeks was enough. We should have done 4 weeks, but...
Part of the problem is, I think it might have, you know, when Ellie and I came alone with 2 people, it's easier. Because we were having trouble here. You want to hold that and I'll roll off the window. We were having some trouble because like Jack is finding some of the stuff to be less exciting. We're rolling again. Looks like we stopped for just a second. Jack, I think some of the things that some of us like, others don't like, and some of the things, I don't know. Jack was really bored when we went to the Rock of Cashel and we were having a little tour around because it was a lot of talking about history and stuff, and he was okay with it for a little while, but then he got kind of bored, and there are just other things that other people aren't that excited about, and then some of us are more tired at certain times, and we've all had really bad allergy problems.
Oh, our allergies have been crazy bad. I mean crazy bad. Like Dave and Ellie, Jack and Mike and I have been bad, but David and Ellie have been to where they can't breathe, they can't sleep. It's been horrible for them to it's been horrible for them to try and breathe. It's just, that's been really, really bad.
Well, and the allergies have been making everybody feel really tired and sort of some kind of grouchy sometimes.
And Ellie's worried about Buster. Buster is not handling us being gone so well now that Mom's back home, and so he's howling at the moon. He's never howled. BJ said that he got up at 2 o'clock in the morning and he was howling at the moon, and then he started ripping up stuff, which he's never ever done. So poor Ellie is kind of worried about Buster, and so we're heading back 4 weeks from today. Jessica, hello my friend. We are
BJ has been going out and being a lot more kind to Buster than he normally would.
Well, I mean, he's not mean to him.
He's not mean to him, but
paying attention to him.
He normally doesn't pay any attention to him, but he's been extra thoughtful of Buster.
So we go to another town in Ireland on Friday, and then we go to London for a few days, and then we go to Norway, and then back to London and home in 4 weeks. So that is our plan, although we're all,
Next we'll be on a farm kind of near Dingle, Ireland, not in Dingle, but that's probably the closest town of any size.
Yeah.
And hopefully, we were looking at, when we were having trouble, because we tried to stream from the Airbnb, and there just wasn't enough signal, but we looked and it seems like there might be some signal in the town of Dingle, so we might be able to do from there where we'd actually be able to see some pretty stuff.
Yeah. And we did realize, even though we thought we were planning longer stays, it's still too much moving around. We should have just stayed one place for a month. And we need to make sure that the place has Wi-Fi or something. The poor kids are bored out of their minds. I'm a little bored. I played about 150 games of solitaire the last 3 days. What did people do before the internet and TV?
I've been getting up,
We have to actually talk to each other.
I've been getting up, taking the boys to the national park here, but because we all went at different times, like we were all together at the national park, and so like Dave and Ellie and I went to one place, and then the next day Dave and I went to the same place, and the next day Jack and I went to the same place, and I was thinking, I really love this place, but I kind of need something different. So so we've been kind of trying different things, and yeah, it is, I think they're normally accustomed to doing a lot of game things and like,
well, yeah. So sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, go ahead.
So here's another little catch that kind of got put into it. Dave, the first week we were here, the first week where did he get hired? Was it London? Well, I don't know.
Yeah,
anyway,
it was.
Dave, he got hired for his first job while we were here. So we've been having
something he's really excited about.
Yeah,
so.
We can't really disclose exactly what it is, but he's helping with video game development. Well, he got hired unexpectedly the first week we were here. So it's been kind of hard because Dave is working his first real full-time job.
And he was more excited about that, and he was like, okay, I'm done with the trip now.
So Dave doesn't want anything to do with the trip because he's so excited for his first job, which as soon as we can tell you guys, we're going to tell you, because actually it's really pretty cool it's really pretty cool what he's doing. And yeah, we can't say a lot about it. Yeah, we can't talk about it yet because it's not released yet. But anyway, so Dave got a job in the middle of this. Well, it's been kind of hard because we don't have good internet, and he has to do his stuff on the internet, but we're having to do it off our phones, and we don't have good reception all the time. So it's just been kind of crazy trying to keep everybody entertained, keep Dave working for his job so he can do his job and all that. So
something else, Killarney is a fun town, but it's really geared at the tourists, so things tend to be, at least it seems like some of the things are more expensive here than other places. And Jack was really excited because we were going to go out on the water on a boat today on one of the locks, but it ended up being kind of expensive, and we could only go with a guide taking us. Yeah. But when we were in Scotland, we were on this lock, and they just rented us a boat and said, bring it back whenever, but when you bring it back, then we'll settle up the price. Well, that one we just took the boat on our own, and we got to go do whatever. And Jack was thinking that was going to be the case here. But the boat here ended up being a lot more expensive, and we didn't have any independence on that. So it's things like that where this is more geared for regular tourism. Yeah.
Well, and I brought Jack books, and I brought me books. Well, we've gone through all of them, and I only like a particular kind of book, and I haven't found any here. We need to go try the thrift store here tomorrow. Let's do that. It's raining tomorrow. We'll do that.
It is a really nice town. It's just very busy.
Are we staying on budget? Well, we don't really budget. So we just don't spend a lot. We're spending about $15 a day on food. We've spent we spent a boatload of money on Phantom when we were in, like hundreds of dollars to go see Phantom, but that was the most expensive thing we did for entertainment. Everything else has been about what, $30 or so, $40 for the boat rental, stuff like that, maybe around there. The tours.
Yeah, we're not really spending very much on that stuff, and food, we're not really eating out very much.
We haven't seen any festivals either. Right now in Killarney, it's horse racing. We're not really into horse racing.
There was a Celtic show that we were contemplating going to, and it's kind of pricey, but the thing is, I'm not sure if anyone but Tara and me would get anything out of that. So if we did that, it would be like a date night thing. Yeah. Let's see. Is Dave gonna work after he gets home? So this particular development job goes to the end of August, and then after that he'll see. So not so sure. It's likely he would keep doing stuff related to that. But.
Yeah, it's very possible. But he's loving it, and we'll explain more after we can talk about it. But it's just kind of cute. Yeah, actually it is kind of tiring, Tiffany, moving around so much, just because I'm having to pack and get the wash all done, get everything packed up, you know.
I have to say, as much as I was looking forward to coming to Killarney, and I really like Killarney, and the next place I expect we'll like too, it was a little strange after the one place that was just totally unexpected. We rented a place just to pass a couple of nights in the Dublin area. was actually in County Wicklow, like 40 minutes south of Dublin. And I was thinking this is just going to be a short-term jump. We just need a place to...
It was a new AirBnB, didn't have many ratings.
We just need a place to put our heads down for the night. We got there and we were thinking, oh, this is the best place ever. We should have stayed here for the whole trip. Yeah. Because it was really, really nice. And actually, we had a viewer come visit us briefly. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, we had a viewer come visit us in Dublin. And then a viewer come visit us in what was the name of the town?
Roundwood.
Roundwood, where we were at. And both of them were very lovely people. I'm so glad we got to meet them. They were very encouraging and very happy.
It was awesome.
Yeah, Tammy, $15 a day total for us eating food for all of us because we've been going to the grocery store and doing that. Courtney, if you don't budget, then how do you know where your money is going? That isn't biblical. No, we know where our money is going. You don't have to budget.
We're actually really...
Yeah.
It's just...
We just don't spend money that we don't need to spend. So... Like when I go to the grocery store, I don't go and just buy a whole bunch of stuff just to buy a whole bunch of stuff. Now we have on this trip a little bit more. If I put the video out that I did in England, you'll see we bought more cakes and pies and stuff than we normally do just because we want to try them all. But
I would
still,
say,
it's not.
As far as the trip in general, like the accommodations and the travel and all, we're spending about what we expected to spend. Food, we're probably spending less. We thought we would eat out more than we have so far. I mean, we're going to allow ourselves to eat out some, even though we normally don't.
We've been eating out about, what, once a week?
It's a vacation, yeah. But we just haven't, I don't know, we haven't, it hasn't been super exciting thinking, hey, let's go eat out somewhere, because we've been trying things in the grocery store and they've been good. And it's been about the same. A lot of the stuff at the grocery has been the same or less expensive than at home.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Oh my goodness. Church tribe. Yes. Jack was born there. Wow. How neat. We weren't famous back then when Jack was born, but, well, we were, but not on YouTube and Facebook, just with our internet. That's pretty cool. Yeah. Wesley. Hey, let me tell you, Wesley, we made many, many trips there, didn't we? Oh my goodness.
Oh, we had to make like 5 trips that were false alarms before the real deal.
I was going like every week the last 2 months or so, not quite 2 months, 6 weeks, I guess, every 6 weeks.
This is for those of you who aren't following, that's the hospital where Jack was born in Wichita, Kansas.
Pretty cool. Are there any living on a dime tips you have learned from there? Not really. They're pretty frugal. They do things. We understand a few more things, like why they do the recycling they do. They don't have anywhere to put the trash, so they do a huge amount of recycling. Get that. And I understand now why our viewers talk about that more.
I think the electric shower thing is cool.
The electric shower thing.
Because a lot of the places have electric showers where they don't use it doesn't use the hot water heater at all. Yeah. It just heats the water on the wall as it's coming out.
Yeah. So.
And also, I'm not sure if this is frugal particularly. I mean, maybe it is, but the cost of our electric isn't that high where we are. But they actually have switches on all the plugs, so they can turn off so that
that's another thing. They turn everything off.
Appliances don't sit there with a little light on or running a fan or anything. You can turn it. You can turn the whole plug off, and that's kind of cool. You're on vacation. You're not on a budget. Well, with 5 people, you gotta be a little bit careful with what you're spending. But I would say, if we had stayed in one place, it might have been different. But I do think we have figured out. I think we kind of were a little bit concerned about this when we first left. We started to realize maybe 7 weeks is a long time. And I do think
we shouldn't have done 7 weeks. We should have done 3 or 4.
Probably won't do that again. No. But the idea was to try to stay in one place at a time and relax. The thing is, what's relaxing to some isn't relaxing to others. So like Tara and I could probably be, well, I do like to get out and do stuff, but the younger kids are having a harder time with the relaxing part because they just want to go, but they don't want to go do a lot of the stuff that's necessarily available. I mean, when we were in Scotland, they loved like the boat thing. We did that for half a day one day because it was really cheap and it was a lot of fun. So
where's our favorite place so far? I don't know. I didn't like London at all. Sorry.
I
didn't really like London. I loved Massam. I really liked Massam.
Massam was nice. Well, the thing is, Massam in North Yorkshire is nice, but at the time we had our sister-in-law with us, and we were trying to make sure she got to do everything she wanted to do.
Yeah.
So we were really pushing a lot harder than we should have been, and for me, that made it a little harder. Crystal, whose house we were staying in, she was really awesome, and that was great. But I think we were just trying to do too much then. Yeah. Scotland, Tara wasn't feeling very well a lot of Scotland. And so there was one day where the kids and I went out. I mentioned the boat. We went out on this boat on a loch, exploring these little uninhabited islands that had ruins and, like ancient graves and stuff like that. It was really cool. That was a lot of fun on that particular day. Although I have to say, I did like Scotland. It was raining a lot of the time we were there, but for some reason, for me, just coming to Ireland, I felt like it was sunnier and it just felt more upbeat. But we've kind of been a little more worn out some with Killarney.
Yeah.
It was nice.
It's the driving that's wearing me out.
I think that was what it is.
Honestly, it is extremely stressful driving here. I mean, they're great drivers. I'm not criticizing by any means. They are great drivers. And Michael, you are doing a great job. I'm not criticizing your driving.
Thank you, because I wasn't sure at first.
I am not. Actually, he's driving very well. It is just so incredibly stressful. You never know if you're going to hit the hedge or if you're going to hit another car because the roads are so small and they don't stop, and you're just like,
Sometimes it looks like you're going to clip somebody's car on the other side, but you're really not.
Yeah, I have nerves of steel. I mean, our daughter was hit in the head with a golf club, cracked her skull open, and I was like, oh, let Mom go get a wash rag, and we'll put that on there, and we'll get you to the hospital and get you checked out. But here, my nerves of steel, and that may be the gluten, actually. That could partly be the gluten, because it does...
Well, the driving on the certain roads in certain places, I mean... I'd say about, if we're on a motorway, which is more like an interstate highway, much easier.
Yeah. If
we're on kind of a medium-sized road, the medium-sized roads are pretty small compared to but the small roads, we were on this one road, and it was super narrow, and we were having a hard time because an oncoming car would come, and I would try to move over a little bit, then Tara was saying, oh, you're going to hit the edge, you're too close. And as we're driving through that, we come to a sign that says "Road is narrowing." We're like,
narrowing? It can't get any smaller.
This is gonna be great. And then Google's like, "Hey, we can take you 7 minutes faster on this other road." So we turn on that road, and it's like going through a tiny alley behind some buildings in New York
with tour buses coming on it. You're like, hello.
When they say a tiny alley, it was a country road, but it had like a stone wall on each side.
Yeah.
And so if a vehicle's coming from the other side, it's really hard to move over far enough without scraping the car on the wall.
So anyway, there's movie theaters here. We're gonna go see a couple movies. There is a Celtic show. I just saw them drive by with their little sign. Mike and I might go see that. Buster is not doing so great. He's really missing us a lot. Mom has gone home and she left him with BJ. And
I was saying we should Skype the
dog. Do you have to pay a duty when you bring home items that you bought? No, I don't think so if it's your own personal stuff. Now, if I would have brought in like 5 boxes of books, I maybe would have. But, let's see. Do you see any Nessie monster? Oh, we saw something today in Ireland. I'm sure it was Loch Ness.
Loch Ness monster's on holiday in Ireland.
Okay.
In Loch Lane.
Of course, it's stressful. You don't know where you're going, etc. Yeah, that's the problem. We don't know where we're going. The Irish drivers are great drivers here. Like I said earlier, I have not seen an accident since we've been here, but it's just crazy because they're going so fast and all the roundabouts and...
Oh, what I do have to say, a couple things. In England, I was surprised when we were in North York. Well, first of all, driving out of London, it was like 5 hours of rush hour. It was rush hour all the way from London to North Yorkshire. But what I thought was interesting there is there'd be in a town, a little 2-lane road, and people just randomly park their cars in the driving lane, and I guess that's okay. But I was going to say about Little yesterday. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, tell them about the grocery store.
So we came into the Little parking lot on the day when that football game was happening. We didn't really understand what was happening. And finally we're thinking, oh, I think it's a sports thing. So I look on TV, and there was a sports channel, and they were saying Kerry versus Mayo, big like quarterfinals. And I was like, oh, okay. So we came into the Little parking lot, and we drove in, and it was jam-packed where there was just one tiny little narrow space to drive the car. But there were cars parked in all the spaces, and then there were cars parked in front of the cars at all different crazy angles. And some of them had their hazard lights on, and some of them were just sitting there.
3 cars deep.
And I was thinking, how do the people in the back get out when the people in the front are blocking them, but they're in the store? It's not like they were waiting in the car for somebody in the store. And I thought, I've heard about that, but I've never seen that before. And that... It may be because with the football game it was super crazy.
It was.
But wow, I've never seen anything like that.
Yeah. So the driving actually has really, it's actually made me physically ill. It's been so stressful. But
the really good drivers in
CFS
general.
and fibromyalgia, when you're stressed out, you get sick. So, what do you do? But yeah, no, the drivers are good here. It's
a lot more intense driving experience.
Yeah, when you're driving on the wrong side of the road for Americans, and you're like, whoa, this is the right side of the road, but it feels like the wrong side of the road, and you're just
See, I'm kind of jazzed about the fact that it doesn't feel unnatural anymore being on the other side, but never really had any problems with it. Sometimes we did see some other people who seemed to be coming across on the wrong side.
Yeah, so anyway, but all right, so yeah, soccer here is what it is. Yeah, it's a soccer game. So anyway, yeah. All right, guys. Well, it's 8:20 here, so we're gonna go home. Gonna try and take a bath if we can get the water heater going.
Well, sure. Oh, I think I can. It was funny
I tried
because
to take one last night and I couldn't get any hot water.
Actually, that's another thing is I've kind of figured out the trick of a few things for Tara, and the water I told her tonight I'll have to figure it, because I have had no trouble with the hot water, but we have to. So there's a room they call the hot press, which is like a utility room or mud room or whatever, and the hot press has, among other things, you have to turn on the hot water heater and then set a timer so it warms up the water. Yeah. But when there was something else. Oh yeah. At the one house, the super fancy house, Tara was trying to dry clothes in the dryer, and the dryer kept saying water tank full. Like, water tank in the dryer?
What?
And so I ended up getting online and downloading a manual for it, and we discovered that it doesn't have a vent to the outside. So it just collects all the moisture in the tank.
It condenses and collects in a little
apparently the
bottle.
People that stayed there before us, I think they must not have been able to figure it out because the tank was full. And so we just pulled it out and had to dump this water tank. But it's just things like that are totally different. And it's nothing wrong with it, but it's just it's different and requires some figuring out how it actually works.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, Jamie said I could get books and put them on my phone. That would be a good idea.
Oh, and the stove too. It's the hob.
Yeah. We didn't know what a hob was, and now we know it's a stove.
And things like the stove, there's like a switch on the wall. You have to turn on the switch or the stove gets no power. Or the electric shower. A lot of times at certain houses, there's like a pull switch. Somewhere else in the bathroom, you have to pull the switch to turn on power to the electric shower. Yeah. So that's kind of interesting.
So those things are a little strange, but
just a little adjustment.
It's not. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting seeing how they do. Like, we were talking the other day, we're like, well, good grief, can we get one of those electric hot water heaters for our house for the showers? Because it's really nice. You just turn on and you can have all the hot water you want. You don't have to heat all of the hot water.
It's like a flash hot water heater. It's not heating water all day long for that.
So I think that's a great idea. And the thing that's a little weird is all the on-off switches on every single outlet. It's an on-off switch. So that's a little strange because you're like, why isn't this turning on? Then you realize, oh wait, I gotta turn on the power. I don't understand why they do that. I'm not quite sure what the purpose of that is. Maybe it's to save energy or something to things. I don't know.
Safety.
I don't know. I have no idea. So Ooh, Ladiana says we can get those at those tankless water heaters at Lowe's. That's an idea.
See, they have regular tankless hot water heaters in America, but as far as I know,
it's the whole house.
It's the or a whole section of the house.
Yeah.
But the shower ones, it's just a shower, which is kind of interesting.
Pretty cool. So anyway,
I thought that would be great though if you had an add-on bathroom. You didn't want to run a whole bunch of extra plumbing to there, just to put the electric water shower there.
We have actually, after doing this whole Airbnb thing, I think we're not going to do Airbnb if we get a bigger property in Colorado. We had tossed around that idea
of doing
Airbnb
as a host.
I think we probably won't do that now. I don't know.
Well, something else is that we were noticing it doesn't seem like it's, when Ellie and I were doing Airbnb for our last trip, it saved a ton of money. And this trip, we were thinking, wow, some of these, I'm not sure if it saved us that much doing Airbnb instead of a hotel. Especially...
well, it may have because we have 5 people.
Especially in some of them, it's uncertain what it includes.
Yeah.
Like, oftentimes it doesn't include... Well, you obviously do your own food, but in a hotel that's often the case too. But there were some things like at one place, I think the lady was unsure whether trash bags were included.
Yeah.
Trash bags aren't included.
That was a little strange. I could see toilet paper, I guess, if you're there for a week or so, but trash bags, that's, I don't know,
some
that kind of
things
needs to be included.
Trash bags and toilet paper and towels and stuff like that at a hotel, that would always be included.
Yeah.
So it's just things like that we're starting to think, it's, when Ellie and I did it, it was literally a third of the price for the Airbnbs, but now it's closer to like 70% of the price.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's almost the price when you realize that they don't include some basic things.
Yeah.
So they have been nice places though, and some of the places that we've stayed, particularly like the farm in Scotland, we would not have been able to stay. There wasn't a hotel that would give you that experience.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
And it was nice. When's our next holiday abroad?
Probably be a while.
I'm done. Yeah, I remember now why. So I was an exchange student to Sweden. I went to go be an exchange student to Sweden. And so I spent 3 months in Germany, Holland, and Sweden after high school. And I'd planned on moving to Sweden, actually. And I remember now why I really didn't have a desire to come over again. It's been great. I love it. I really loved England, and if I did it, I would probably say England. Now, I haven't been to Norway yet, so can't say anything about that. We might really love Norway, but I would say if I ever came back, it would be in the countryside of England.
Well, it would be good to come back for a shorter period of time and only go to one place.
Yeah.
Because if we were only, like Crystal was saying in her town in North Yorkshire, if we only came and only went there, or if we were only at the place in Scotland, I think traveling to a lot of places is, in a sense, we had the idea that, hey, we're already paying to go over there, so why have lots more airplane flights back and forth over the next several trips, and instead just do it all sort of together. But I think you just get kind of worn out doing too much of that. Not complaining. It's been, there's been some good opportunity.
Yeah. If I did it again, I would just come to Yorkshire, England, find a place for a month and just sit there for a month and
But I do think
make that it.
I personally think with the family it would be better to have shorter trips in your home country, and then to make the overseas trips be like just when Ellie and I went alone, or if Tara and I were to go alone, where it was just 2. Because
it's hard with the family. Just packing alone is really it's a nightmare between the flights and stuff, and like Ryanair, their suitcase allowance is literally a 1/4 inch smaller than Americans.
So we had to pay to check 2 extra bags.
3. We had to check 3.
Well, yeah, we had already paid for that. That was already included in our thing. But yeah, we had to pay.
Oh, yeah.
We had to pay to check 2 extra bags because they were a 1/4 inch smaller. Like literally, there's a thing that says stick it in here. If it doesn't fit, then you have to check it. Well, literally, it was a 1/4 inch difference from the other airlines.
So that's where they make their money, is making you pay for things that you don't need to. So that's frustrating.
The thing with the family, though, bringing the whole family, I think maybe wasn't the best idea. I mean, we wanted to do something with the whole family, particularly since this is probably the last opportunity, although BJ wasn't able to come. But because of the vast difference in everybody's ages, the interests are a lot different, and it's been difficult getting everybody wanting to do the same thing.
Yeah.
So, and we don't want to say, oh, well, yeah, we're all going to go do this. We're going to be happy about it. So
we've kind of been, if Dave wants to stay and work, we're letting him work, and
if Ellie doesn't want to come,
doesn't want to come, then we're like, okay, whatever.
So we've been kind of floating with that, and that's been helpful. We did. Jack today wanted to stay at the house, but we had him come with us, and I think that was good because we ended up going on a boat to an island and seeing some stuff there.
The kids have enjoyed it, but I think they're ready to go home. Ellie's feeling really bad about Buster, but the boys, Dave's got his job, so he would be just as happy at home working his job as he would here. But I think it's one of those things we're going to really love, and in the end, we're going to say, oh, remember our trip to, But right now, right in the middle of it, we're pretty tired, and it hasn't been as restful as we thought it would be, which is fine. It's fine. And part of it's been my poisoning myself with my dumb gluten, because it just is so good here. Their pastries are just delicious, and their cream is really good. Oh my goodness, their cream is really good.
Well, it's really beautiful here.
Yeah, we've loved it. So I think
the biggest thing that we've kind of regretted a little, particularly in Scotland, was not seeing as many local people as much. Scotland, it was rained a lot, so we were in a lot. Yeah. But a lot of the joy it's kind of interacting with local people, and
we didn't see any kilts, we didn't see any bagpipes. No, not that we. I mean, I'm kidding, of course, but
in Ireland, it's still been kind of like that. But there's been more opportunity for that, and that's been kind of a joy. Being able to directly interact with people more from here. Although it's funny, some places you go and everybody else is American. Thinking, okay, that's not the experience.
And in Dublin, oh my goodness, driving in Dublin was as hairy as driving in the south of Ireland. But my favorite thing was I got to go to the Cath Cadson store. That was the highlight of my trip. I will show you guys. It's in the trunk, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I won't go get it right now, but you should see the cool things I got. I'm so excited. I got me some purses and an apron, and I'm so happy. So, anyway,
Phantom of the Opera was pretty awesome.
Phantom was good. So, yeah. So, anyway, how much is the cost for a cell phone out here? It's actually pretty cheap. It's like 20.
Really cheap. It was 20... We paid, so we got it in London, so we paid £20. It's £20 a month for 45 gigabytes of data.
$30 or so.
Unlimited phone. And I think I paid £3 extra to have 100 minutes of calling to the United States. Yeah. Which we've been sort of sparing that, but that was helpful for airplane issues and calling Jill to say, meet us on Skype.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, so, all right, guys, it is 8:30 at night. I am tired. We are going to go home to our Airbnb, but we just wanted to update you guys. We are having fun, guys. We're just kind of tired, and, it's just, I don't know.
Well, I think one of the things that's been kind of making it easier at this moment when we're getting kind of tired is when we realize we don't all have to do all the same thing all the time. Yeah. So, like, I've been getting up in the morning because I just want to go somewhere and do something, and everybody else wants to sleep. So I'll just get up and maybe take one of the kids that wants to go, and it'll just be us. And I think kind of rolling with it and realizing we don't all have to do the same thing every time, that's really made it a lot easier. Yeah. The one thing that's a little bit difficult is I'm the only driver. Yep. And we're not right in the city or in the town, so it would be half an hour. It'd probably be longer than that. It's a little bit of a walk from where we are to the things. So if I take the car and go, it's a little difficult for anyone else to do anything. So I've had to do it early when I know they're still going to be sleeping anyway. Yeah. So, yeah. But
we got to go to all the grocery stores and try Tesco and Lidl and Aldi, and that was pretty fun. I want to go to M&S tomorrow. We're gonna go see a movie tomorrow.
Yeah. So it should be fun.
Yeah, it is a little hard sleeping because the sun stays up till 11 o'clock at night here. So that's a little hard.
But it's even harder in Scotland, which is further north. And
yeah.
I'm sure Norway will be kind of like that too.
Yeah, so that's been a little hard adjusting to that, but otherwise. All right, guys. We just wanted to check in with you. We are having fun. It's been a little crazy, but we are having fun. So please like, subscribe, and share. Please check us out at livingonadime.com and go buy our books if you want one.
And hopefully at the next place we might be able to stream from a prettier place, but we have to go where we can get the connection speed. So anyway, all right, bye.